Okay, but let's look at a good game now. Well, not good, but I played this game on Tuesday. It was a senior moment. Okay, so before this game, I did like as much prepping for the French as I could. Because he plays the French for some reason. And I was like, he's not gonna play this move against me because he probably wants to beat me. So I spent the most time looking at knight f6 and bishop b4. And I spent like a little bit of time on this move. And then he played it. I was like, fuck, okay. So like this was theory. And then the only move I looked at was this, which I like had a novelty prepared and everything. It was like, it would have been awesome. Oh, also hi YouTube. But then he went here and I was out of theory. And I made some weird decisions in this game. So, here's my thinking. Okay. If the move after this is bishop d2, then isn't he threatening to do this even more now? Because if I allow it, then he can also play knight f4. Was what I was thinking. But it's just like difficult to know when you allow them to take your bishop here and when you don't. I don't understand. So I played c4 because like I didn't understand what was happening here. Imagine thinking in chess, right? And if he goes like bishop b4 check, I was thinking this and I was like, okay, like I have a great position here. I mean, I don't think he wants a draw and I have absolutely no problems, so he's gonna overpress. That's what I thought. Then he just like castled. I noticed that he plays really passive moves a lot. And then here, okay, I developed a piece, because that's like what I like to do. And he went b6. And then I made a weird move. So normally, never in a million years would I play c5. Because it just feels like a big overextension. And I felt like I should just castle. But at the same time, I was like, but I'm doing all of this shit with tempo. And I was seeing a4, a5 happening at some point was what I wanted to do. Also b4, you know. I thought it was just like everything was happening quickly. And if I just castle, then yeah, I'm doing just fine here. But then I was like, ooh, knight e5 looks fucking hot. Threatening bishop f3, just winning. No, this is a regular rated game of chess at the Denver Chess Club. So bishop f3 is a huge threat, you know, because you can't go here because of that. Just no way to do anything there. So, but then he goes here, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just dumb. This was a very confusing game for me. No, it was game 70 with a 10-second delay. So I'm just confused as hell here. Because now he has ideas of taking on e3, and then taking, and it's like, my pawn structure is just as fucked up as his, if not more. And I just don't know what to do. And I was having this problem this whole game where I just wasn't considering very obvious good moves for him. Just wasn't considering it. But it's just tough because this time control is so strange. I get in time trouble a lot here, and I was trying not to get really far down on time. Below what? How do you say that? Anyway. So I still don't understand this position. I don't think I ever will. Low on time. Okay. Bishop f3, and I was like, okay, bishop a6 is probably bad because of queen a4. It's just a bad move. So I was like, okay. But then he just goes here. I'm like, why the I didn't even look at that move. I was like, anytime I want, I can do this. Oops. But I like didn't even consider bishop f6. And now I'm like, god damn it. Now my position is falling apart. And if I just allow him, for some reason, every move, I should be playing rook c1 and just ignoring all his threats. Oh, because then I play knight c6 and take with the rook. Oh, okay. And here again, I should play rook c1 somehow. But I thought I'd take with the rook there. And that, oh yeah, hangs his guy. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I should just play rook c1 so I don't have to fuck up my pawns even further. But then this is the interesting thing, right? I played knight d3. Like, even when I looked at this game with Josh, he's like, well, how bad could knight d3 even be? And I was like, well, that's what I played. Knight d3 is just a blunder. So knight d3 seems like it makes sense because it has the same idea of taking back on c5 with a piece instead of a pawn. But now bishop a6, I'm just fucking losing. They don't have queen a4 anymore. It's just terrible. And I was so frustrated because it was like all his pieces were stupid and now they're active. It's like, how did I let this happen? But notice, this is a retreat. This is so common where retreating is a mistake. More often than not, a retreat is always a mistake. Yet when you're playing the game, you don't think of it as a retreat, you just think of it as placing the knight on a different square. But chess is about going forwards. And I didn't think about it. No matter how many times I'm told that think really hard before we retreat a piece because it's usually bad, I don't think about it that way when I'm actually playing. Yeah, it felt like a maneuver, not like a retreat. But no, it's just like almost every game is like where I make a big mistake, it's a retreat. So it's kind of funny how that works. Kind of blew my mind. I don't know why. It's just like Josh was like, notice how that's a retreating move, just by the way. But okay, chess is going forwards and I went backwards, so I'm losing. So he goes bishop a6 and now I like want to kill myself. Okay. I already had only 36 minutes left with a delay. So I kind of made a fast move here. So a whole bunch of bad shit's happening to me now. Again, I just need to play rook c1. Just need to play rook c1. But I went queen d2. So it was like, okay, I mean, I have the option of taking back with the queen now. And I can play rook d1 if this file opens and like play against this queen and I'll castle and everything will be okay. But then he just takes my knight. And then he takes my pawn. And I'm just losing a pawn, and I didn't see that. I was like, okay. To be fair, I was already losing. And there wasn't really a good move. It's kind of... Giving up the pawn is about the same. But now I'm just like... I felt like I was going to be the first game done, and I was just going to lose really quickly. I drew this shit. It's insane. Okay, so I takes... And then I played rook d1, and he seemed surprised by that. Maybe I was reading into things, but I thought rook d1 was the obvious choice, but maybe I'm wrong. At least I have a pin. I don't know. And my king is perfectly happy on e2 if I have to. But then he goes c6, and I'm like, god damn, this is a terrible position. This knight is so fucking good. There's nothing to do. There's just nothing to do, so I just castle, queen a5. Now he's going after this pawn. So I felt, okay, at least I'll set up some tricks here. Because now if he takes on a2, then I'm like winning because of rook d2. It's a cheapo threat, but like, you know, sometimes you gotta do that. And I don't know, I felt like trading the bishops. I don't know. And you know, if he does this, then I'm like actually getting some compensation at this point. At least my rooks are kind of active and my bishop. Like if I can undermine this pawn and then take, like, I mean, I think I can hold that. So that's why bishop d4. But he just played rook b8. I was like, that's really annoying. I went rook b1. And the point is, okay, again, if he goes here, I just have queen d2. But now he trades, and he goes here. Stops halfway. This feels hopeless to me. It's just gonna be like a slow descent into... I'm just gonna get grinded out here. So you know how I am. I start looking for insane ways to get counterplay. H4 was my first instinct, actually. But it doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, just takes it. I don't know. So I was like, okay, I'll just do this. And if he goes here, then I have this. And I'm like, I don't know, stuff's... I might have something. So he took, and I went rook b8. And then he just, like, slammed queen c7 down and looked at me like I was an idiot. I'm exaggerating. He probably didn't do any of that. But it felt that way. Because it was like, why would he play queen c7? Like, I haven't looked at that. Like, that wasn't the first thing I looked at. So now I go here. And I go here. And I have some counterplay. Like, how defend pawn? How defend knight and pawn? Okay, if I am a stupid idiot and I do this and he goes here, then I resign. But I am not stupid idiot. Well, not in this case. I just go a4. Knight d4. Takes a7 is... I have no choice. I need counterplay. And then, for some reason, he didn't take my bishop. I mean, maybe he shouldn't... Okay, rook b8 I think is good. And then rook d1. But here I was just thinking he takes my bishop, and it's just really miserable, and there's nothing I can really do here. But then he goes e5. Which was shocking to me. I feel like you have no chess culture if you don't take here. Hey, thanks for the 25 months, Platinum Blanche. No, it's definitely all in my head when my opponents, like, call me an idiot. But it's for content. So, like, why would you not do this? I don't understand why you wouldn't do this. I don't get it. Josh was very, very surprised that a master wouldn't do that either. So he went e5, and I was like... Maybe I keep bishop? I buy. And then from this position, I was like, okay, so at some point I'm doing this, or at some point he's gonna hang a rook, maybe. And I was like, that was my one hope. I was like, he's never gonna allow that. Okay, so he plays g6. And I go bishop d3 because I was... The move before, I was kind of worried about knight e2 check. It's like a little... kind of annoying because he's still grabbing my bishop. So that is why I went here. Oops. Then he goes rook b3. I go g3, which I think is a blunder. And then here I was like annoyed because I allowed knight f3 in this tactic. But I guess he didn't see that. I mean, I would have to move my king somewhere else. King f1 or something. It's just terrible. But I guess he didn't see that somehow. But he played this move, which I thought was just really, really bad. I just don't understand the point of that move. Because it's making this even worse, because now it's like checks sometimes. If I ever get my rook active, then like it's a draw. That's what I was thinking. So it's like, okay, he doesn't seem to be doing anything with his advantage, so I'm just gonna push my pawn. Which I think is the right decision. Again, I thought knight f3, but, you know, as long as I'm getting my pawn going, losing the h-pawn is not as big of a deal, it feels like. So, he goes here. I go back to e4. And, now f5 isn't possible, which is why another reason why I thought king g7 was so stupid. So he goes rook c4. I go bishop d3 again. Rook a4. Bishop f1. So now he doesn't have this tactic anymore. I thought the plan for him was this, quite obviously. But then he went here, which is just... Why would you do that? Because I was doing this anyway, and this does nothing. So... And he opened this file up for my rook at some point. So now I'm, like, actually, like, getting hope back, even though many, many moves ago, I had already gone through the grieving process, and I had already accepted the fact that I lost. Which is important to note, by the way. How much time did I have here? Oh, after bishop f1, I went under 5 minutes and stopped keeping score. But I recreated the game. So, I had 5 minutes, he had 11. So, rook c3, again, I just have no idea what he's doing. Rook b1, and I'm like, is he gonna let me do this? And I'm just like sitting here, and I'm just very confused. And then he plays rook a2, which is... Now I'm just like, I have to be missing something because my one idea is starting to come into play. It's like, there's no way he doesn't see it. Now I might be winning. I might fucking be winning this. But I have no time and I have a delay. So, knight b5, and okay, so this is important. Psychological insight into this game. Because I already accepted the fact that I had lost, and I thought, I don't think it ever even crossed my mind that I could possibly win this game because it was that bad. So I didn't take a step back after the mass trades happened. I didn't take a step back and reevaluate the position. My only goal was to get all the pawns off the board and draw, so I didn't flag. But I'm just winning here, because he plays... Okay, like, he goes knight b5, and his knight is just stuck, just defending this square. I went like this, and I went f4, which is bad. But it's not bad if you want to draw. In fact, it's the most obvious way to get a draw. But I, like, didn't realize... I was just afraid... pass pawn, I don't know. Like, I thought he was just gonna go bring his king over. And it was just, like, unclear, and I just didn't know... It just didn't cross my mind what was happening. Or that I could possibly win. But, yeah, he just picks up... I just pick up this pawn, I take these, and then I can sack my bishop for this, and I'm still winning. But I was playing instantly, and he was still trying to flag me. So I played f4 because I wanted a draw. Wait. Is this the right line? Okay. Yeah. So I'm still winning here, actually. Although it's beginning to become less clear. Because his knight can just has to stay here and it can't move. I just don't understand what's happening here. So he gets opposition, but I was like focused on keeping his king out by keeping the bishop here. And I purposely put my pawn on a light square so my, bishop could go here, but I don't know, because I don't actually know if I'm winning. I have no idea if I'm winning. There's nothing in the table base about anything like this. Sure, the computer likes white, But what does +2 even mean in an endgame like this? I don't know. I still don't understand. He declined a draw offer. I think he declined my draw offer here. Which is ridiculous, because there's no way he could possibly win this. And when he did that, I was like, okay, he's gonna overpress and I'm going to win. At that point, I realized my advantage. When I had to stop and think about it, was like, why? I didn't think it was possible for him to reject a draw offer. But he declined, and we went like this. And, he gave me the opportunity to do, oh, wait. No, this is the position. So, it was like this, and he gave me the opportunity to hang my bishop, which I think I still hold somehow, I feel like. Like, I feel like I might still hold this. Yeah, I think this is still a draw, that's the funny part. Even if I hang my bishop. I don't remember exactly where we agreed to a draw. I think it was when I just went here and we agreed to a draw. But this is a fascinating endgame. It just feels like white should be winning. So, h4. What is the winning plan? I'm just gonna play the computer moves for a while until it makes progress. Okay, so we've already hit a loop. I don't know, I feel like this is a draw. Let's just look at it hypothetically. Where do I need my king, and where do I need my bishop to be in order to win this? What needs to happen? I liked bishop g6 at some point. Then he goes c4. Yeah, and then, like, what? I don't understand. Now the computer says equal, but before I went down the computer line, it was like, why is it +5 here and +1.5 here? Cause I just like voluntarily. Now he can't defend the pawn in time. Oh. That's how you win. You play bishop b7. I mean, it just feels like it has to be winning. I don't, but also the thing is, I don't know if this was the, like, if this actually happened or not. I just kind of had to recreate the end position. I don't know if I was winning or not at any point. I might not have been. I might have been winning the whole endgame. I don't know. But it was like I just was moving instantly. At least the position I accepted a draw in appears to be equal, I believe. But let's see if we can make progress here. So how did we make that happen? So say I go back, try and get that to happen again. Okay, so that would win, but black has this move here. But, okay, so now it's saying it's winning if I try that same plan. Oh, but here he is king c6 and he goes here. Okay. I don't know. It's hard. This is really hard. How was I to figure out these differences over the board? Like, I felt bad afterwards when I realized I might have been winning. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have accepted that draw. But at the same time, I was just still in that mindset that I was, like, just losing the whole game. It's hard to even fathom that I could be winning, let alone... I was just jumping up and down and, like, yelling in the parking lot. I was so happy I drew, because I was in shock that I was able to draw it, but winning it, like, that blows my mind that I could have. He played so fucking bad. This is the person who told me I'd never be a master, so... Unless I play the French in the London. This is what a master is, though, I guess, in Colorado. Yeah, it's just... I have to look at this in more depth. This is a weird endgame. Yeah, but in this position he has king b6. And then I just go back and forth that way. When in the other position... where bishop b7 happened... Like, I'm already cut off from being close to the pawn. If my king is here, it's a loss. If it's here, it's a draw. Because I don't even have the option of moving it here, because my king's not supporting it. So you can't take away its only square if it has 2 squares. So, fuck. I don't know. I'm so goddamn burnt out, and I need to start doing tactics again because I'm tired of being so weak tactically. But then the ironic thing is, I don't know if this is irony. The funny thing is, okay, I like hung a pawn and it was like tactically I suck, and so I got a losing position. But because I'm spending so much time on endgames, I was able to hold this and actually get to a winning, maybe winning endgame. So again, nothing you do to prepare in chess, no studying is a waste. It comes in somewhere, and I was happy that it at least started to shine through that what I was doing wasn't just a waste of time, I guess. Chess is just a big game, man. You can't just do tactics. You can't just do endgames. You gotta do your openings, you gotta do your tactics, you gotta do calculation, you gotta do endgames, you gotta do middle games. You have to do it all, because that's just chess. That's what I learned. I don't know if that's helpful, useful information, but it's what I learned. Anyway, that's about it from me. That's all the chess I played.